Hi guys, welcome back to the VC podcast. So today we're talking to Jonathan Moneley, who is from the Carlingford Marina. Any of you don't know where Carlingford Marina is, it's just located just on the outskirts of Carlingford on the Omeath side. You just passed King John's Castle and it's on your right hand side. So we have Johnny here. Johnny, thanks very much for talking to us today.
Not at all, Richard. Thanks for having me.
Not at all. So it's just catching up, Johnny, and seeing how you're getting on, obviously, during this period. You're a bit like ourselves. You have a bit of accommodation down at the marina, and you also have, obviously, the berths for the boats and stuff. So what has things been like? How is business? What's going to happen, do you think, for the rest of the year?
Yeah, it's as if somebody kind of came along and just pressed pause on everything.
Yeah.
We're very vulnerable. Our business is very vulnerable when something like this happens, when a lockdown is kind of put in place.
Yeah.
We've got not only our accommodation, which are our holiday apartments here, and our motorhome parks, but then as a spin-off from that, then the bar and restaurant, and the how the business there is supported as well.
And hospitality package, isn't it, really, Johnny?
It is really, and even if, as these lockdown measures are kind of released in stages, whatever else, and say, for example, apartments is one of the earlier stages, our short-term accommodation is one of the earlier stages. Well, people still aren't going to want to come to our apartments for a weekend if they can't also go to the pub, or they'd be a bit more reluctant to. You might get a couple of family holidays. I hope we get a couple of family holidays midweek and at the weekends during the summer.
But that's what it's looking like at the minute, So word on the street, just talking to different people, domestic tourism obviously is, well, not obviously, but it's going to look like it's going to increase. International tourism is going to drop significantly because there's obviously no flights for a certain amount of time. People are going to be more reluctant to fly. So if it is a case of domestic tourism increases, hopefully we will get more families and that have been cooped up in the house for the past 2 months and could be into 3 months. By the time the restrictions are lifted, they might want to get away for a couple of nights. So
exactly.
That we probably have to be gearing ourselves towards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not a difficult thing to do either, to kind of create that package. We all have the assets and the tools available to us in order to kind of switch the business from how we used to do it for kind of weekend trade to more so to attract domestic trade, and the kind of people that we want.
Yeah. No, definitely. And with also, like you said, we're not sure what way the pubs and restaurants are going to be at the minute. But if it is a case that they are, restaurants will probably come back quicker than the pubs, but probably the distancing thing, obviously 2 meters apart, all that sort of thing. So it won't extend itself to large groups that we were probably used to getting in Carlingford for the last while, along with obviously the family groups and this, that, and the other. But with the pub shut down, it could be an opportunity for activity providers, but to run extra, I don't know, maybe a sailing course or something, or definitely the Carlingford Adventure Centre will probably, with the kids and stuff, they could offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would say probably it'll go down the route of families and kids doing more outdoor stuff. Not even families and kids, even couples will probably come to do outdoor stuff, climb the mountain, all that sort of thing. It'll be a full shift, I can see, in probably what the norm has been for a while. Not just here in Carlingford, but nearly all over Ireland. So it's going to be an interesting time.
It kind of presents a good opportunity though as well for Carlingford as well, because it's something that me and you would know very well, working in Carlingford. All the different activities that you can do that don't rely on the pub. You know what I mean? And to be able to kind of promote them clear of any kind of boozy weekend or any of that kind of stuff. It sounds lovely. It sounds something that
it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to rebrand to an extent and push the other, like the Greenway. I was talking to Dave the other day as well about the Greenway, and like that's a perfect opportunity for people to get out on bikes. Obviously, the health aspect of it, and people are often cooped up in the houses, like I said, for so long, so they're just mad probably to get out on things like bikes, go for a walk. That's definitely something that could be promoted. I'm just looking at the window here and I see King John's Castle, and I don't know when that's going to be open, but that itself is going to attract a lot more people in the area. Things like that, when is it open? Is it going to be allowed open for group tours? It's just so up in the air at the minute, it's hard to know.
Yeah, it's very hard to kind of predict it.
Yeah. And with yourself, Johnny, at the marina, with relation to the berths, how has that been going for you? Are people still, obviously your boat's staying there, but there's probably not no boats. This time of year, you're probably usually flooded with boats coming in.
Yeah, we are. I mean, this time of year in particular, the place is just heaving. So we've a couple of different long-term options, which are kind of the bread and butter of the business, if you like. So we've got our annual berth holders who keep their boats here all year round. We've our winter packages. The winter term actually just ends today on the 30th of April. So we get a lot of boats from like Skerries or whatever else who come up to Carlingford, get it lifted out onto the hard, do a bit of maintenance over the winter, stay 6 months, and then head off back down to Skerries for sailing during the summer. And then we also have our summer market, which would usually be kicking off around now. I mean, if the weather's bad in the year, it could kick off the June bank holiday weekend. But, you know, it'd still kind of come at some point. Yeah. And then you also have the visiting kind of boats. We're a very popular kind of destination port. We used to be a essential stopover between Dublin and Belfast. But now people, even though their boats are more than capable of going straight from Dublin to Belfast, they love stopping into Carlingford and going around and exploring the place wherever else. So we get an awful lot of that passing trade as well.
Brilliant. And in relation, you can book berths for like a night or two or three. You can just come in, pull in.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do a daily rate here as well, and the price is €25 per boat. We used to do a price per meter, but we decided to basically kind of simplify things as best as we could. So say if somebody wanted to come here for a weekend with a bay liner or a boat that you could have in a trailer, just go out for a quick rip around the lock or whatever else. Come down here on a bank holiday weekend, launch your boat on a Friday, stay Saturday, Sunday, take it away on the Monday. Yeah.
That could be an option when all this is over, Johnny, because if people that have a boat, they might want to stay in a hotel, interact with people for maybe a couple of weeks, obviously, until this lifts, but it could be an opportunity for people to come down. It might be something definitely to look into. How has the restaurant and Rebello going for you guys since you opened it?
It was going. It was going really well. I mean, we went through winter there, and winter's kind of it's off season for us. Yeah. And but we were doing okay, and then coming February in particular, we were really starting to gather momentum, and March was looking really good, and then suddenly COVID-19. But it just it fell out of it. So we'll have to be inventive in how we kind of build up that momentum again. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure you'll see a load of little kind of promotional activities from us when we are eventually get the handcuffs off and we're allowed to go and properly do business again. But yeah.
And it's lovely down there. I done the video with Jessica there last year, and if anybody hasn't been at the marina yet, they need to get themselves down. I asked Dave this question the last day or the other day when I was speaking to Dave. What do you like about working in Carlingford? Definitely, obviously, in the Carlingford Marina. What do you think of working in the area?
It's got so much going for it. In terms of, if you want to talk about the scenery, it's unbeatable. If you want to talk about, just the welcome that you get off the people that are, that you meet up the village, you bump into, whatever else. I mean, you could go try and buy yourself, a loaf of bread and, a couple of pints of milk or whatever, and you get stuck talking to somebody for half an hour about nothing, or about, it's just a lovely kind of place to be and chill out.
Yeah. And Johnny, would you have any tips for anybody during this time, obviously business or whatever it might be? Is there anything you could help anybody out with?
There's one thing that I'm looking at now at the moment, now that I've loads of time, and it's basically not to bring the conversation down and depress you any further, but if there is a financial downturn coming as a result of this, which there is, just to be kind of wary of where you are in terms of kind of the financial commitments that you've made over the course. Even though banks are going to be, very friendly with you and very cooperative, we're hearing about all these mortgage holidays and all that kind of stuff. Really, the only true way to kind of protect yourself, though, is to make sure that you are squeaky clean, hitting your criteria set out in any loans that you have, whether you've got a minimum turnover clause or a minimum profit clause, or whatever else. Just be wary of them, because it's not going to affect you now. You're talking about something that's, maybe 12, 13 months down the line. But when this market does open again and you're able to trade again, you need to be trying your best in whatever way that you can to hit those criteria to keep yourself absolutely clean and protected.
Yeah, a good point. Definitely a good point. So people probably should be looking at their policies
Yeah.
they have with the likes of the banks to see what arrangements there is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose the biggest one of all is talk to any lenders that you have, any kind of creditors you have, all that kind of, keep a dialogue going. You know what I mean? Don't shy away from any, if you're going to get into trouble, be upfront about whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now, for this, I think we're, I'm talking about something that might never happen.
Yeah.
We're talking about an event recession as opposed to the recession that we had in the financial crash, where, it was a real deep kind of, recession. An event recession has the opportunity to just suddenly respark the economy whenever it comes. So, we're not, I don't want to be scaring people. I just, I'd say certainly.
They're all things that we have to look at. Definitely, just to keep yourself right. Your apartments as well for the frontline workers back at the start of this pandemic, didn't you?
Yeah, well, we didn't rent them out. We gave them to them to use for free for any kind of, anybody working on the frontline staff, whether it's kind of nurses in Daisy Hill or who else do we have? We did paramedic then, who's up in kind of near the area and all that kind of stuff. So basically, the idea was that we wanted to give them a space where they could come home to after working in these hospitals or these high-risk areas where they're not afraid of kind of like bringing the virus home to, say if they live with elderly parents or something like that. So God, it was great to kind of to really feel as you were kind of doing something to help. But for 4 weeks, and then a lot of them kind of the NHS eventually kind of pulled up their socks and saw the reason for kind of relocating people and all that kind of stuff. And I think there's a hotel or something Newry that's put up a lot of them since now. So seems to be working a bit better now.
That's good. No, fair play. It was a super thing to do. It's not too easy to help out these sort of times. People are twiddling their fingers, wondering what they could do to help. So it was brilliant to be able to give back in that sort of a way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did I hear you got a new award?
I did. Yeah. So I've been for the last 5 years, I think, working on a kind of personal professional development thing, and it's an award that's done by the Global Marina Institute, and they've got an award scheme basically for certified marina managers, and it's been going on now for about 25 years. And you have to go through a couple of different kind of courses. I did an intermediate course and an advanced course up in England and all this kind of stuff. And then the last part was to do a portfolio that you submit, then get your CMM. And I did that just before Christmas. And in January, got told that I am now CMM number 429. So,
good man, Johnny. Yeah. Congratulations. That'll definitely help the cause down the marina.
Yeah, well, hopefully so.
Good man. No, fair play to you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, Johnny, thanks very much for having a chat with us. It was short and sweet, but that's the way we like to keep it. And hopefully I wish you all the best. And no doubt I'll be talking to you again. And for anybody that doesn't know how to get in contact with you, what's your website address?
www.carlingfordmarina.ie.
Yeah, and you can email
info @carlingfordmarina.ie.
Perfect. And you have apartments down there. You can there's an area for mobile homes, isn't there?
Yeah. So we've got a motorhome Air here as well, which is really popular actually. We've got an awful lot of motorhomes here, which is great.
That could well be another avenue that could be busy when this is all picked up.
Yeah, exactly.
So everybody looking to go to Carlingford with a motorhome, they have apartments as well, or if you have a boat, Carlingford Marina has it all for you guys. So give Johnny a shout. Johnny, thanks very much again. I'll be talking to you very soon, and no doubt keep in contact.
Brilliant. Great stuff.
All right,
thanks,
Johnny.
Richard.